This is AOC in the House of Representatives smearing Charlie Kirk because she's a stupid bitch.
I thank Gentleman Representative Green for his graciousness. Today, the Republican House majority brought to the floor a resolution honoring, quote, honoring the life and legacy of Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk's assassination was a horrific and vile attack and incident of political violence.
She almost couldn't get that shit out of her mouth. Well, at least she has she's covered it up front, right? This was a horrific event of political violence, and, dude, fuck her. She's a grifter. Just want to throw that out there. She does whatever the hell she thinks is politically convenient.
Condemning the depravity of Kirk's brutal murder is a straightforward matter.
Yes, it is. 100%.
One that is
I can't wait to see how you don't treat it as a straightforward fucking matter.
Important to help stabilize an increasingly unsafe and volatile political environment where everyday people feel more at risk. We can deeply disagree and come together.
You're right. I also think that the left side of the political aisle is making the right fear for their lives.
As a country, to denounce the horror of this killing. And
ads, man, I swear to God. Nobody likes ads. But I'm not paying for this, so whatever. Video, yep, here we go.
It is not a license for the abuse of power and whitewashing.
We're not abusing power. We are treating you guys the way that you have been treating us for the last fucking decade. And also, people are not getting fired from their jobs because of the shit that they said. They're getting fired from their jobs because people don't like to work with people that are assholes.
Of American history.
The U.S. government did not contact these fucking employers individually and go, I want this person gone. You know, like Biden did with fucking Facebook. You know, when Mark Zuckerberg literally said, yeah, we just banned whoever the Biden administration told us to. You know, like that. You know, the thing that you fucking cheered on because you do whatever's politically convenient.
3.
Fucking bitch.
Today's resolution only underscores the majority's recklessness by choosing to author this condemnation and honoring on a purely partisan basis, instead of uniting Congress in this tragedy with one of the many bipartisan options to condemn political violence and Kirk's murder, as we did with the late Melissa Hortman. Instead, the majority proceeded with a resolution that brings great pain to the millions of Americans who endured segregation.
Really? Really? The party that wants to bring back black-only dormitories gives a fuck that we endured segregation. A thing, by the way, that the Republican Party got rid of during the Civil Rights Act. You know, the MLK, the guy that you guys fucking deify? Yeah, he wanted the Republicans to be in charge.
Jim Crow, and the
Jim Crow, the Democrat.
Legacy of bigotry.
The Democrat legacy of bigotry.
Today.
No, dude, they're literally angry that we want to deport illegal aliens because they pick our crops. Like, do you understand this? They are literally angry that we're getting rid of their slaves again.
We should be clear about who Charlie Kirk was.
A man that was absolutely trying to fight for political unity and reach across the aisle and try and find common ground. Yeah, it's exactly what he did. He did it 1,000,000 times.
A man who believed that the Civil Rights Act that granted black Americans the right to vote was a mistake. Who, after the...
That is not at all what he fucking said, and you know it.
Violent attack on Paul Pelosi claimed that, quote, some amazing patriot, unquote, should bail out his brutal assailant. And accused Jews of controlling, quote, not just the colleges, it's the nonprofit.
Charlie loved Israel, and you hate Israel. If anybody accuses the Jews of doing shit, it's absolutely not Charlie.
It's the movies, it's Hollywood, it's all of it, unquote. His rhetoric and beliefs were ignorant, uneducated,
His rhetoric and beliefs were absolutely not ignorant. They were based on his religious beliefs and his political values, and he was absolutely speaking from an educated point of view. Okay, he was talking to kids at college, and he knew more about shit than they did. I'm not going to speak on it because he knows way the fuck more about stuff than I do. I don't know who a lot of these authors are that he was talking about, but I know Thomas Sowell, and I know that he knew a hell of a lot more than the people that were at college. And newsflash, you don't need to pay $100,000 to learn shit. YouTube is free.
and sought to disenfranchise millions of Americans.
That is not what he sought to do. He sought to unify millions of Americans, and in his death, he has done so. Congratulations.
Far from the working tirelessly to promote unity, unquote, asserted by the majority in this resolution. It is equally important that Congress does unite to reject the government's attempt to weaponize this moment into an all-out assault on free speech across the country, all in the name of Charlie Kirk. President Trump and the FCC are now cynically threatening to shut down ABC and any outlets who give airtime to the administration's political critics.
This is her being upset that Jimmy Kimmel was taken off air at ABC. First of all, ABC is owned by Disney. I'm not sure why Disney needs a fucking news network, but here we are. Jimmy Kimmel, who had ratings that are worse than Stephen Colbert's, and has pretty consistently for the last 5 years, was taken off air because the organization that he works with was not making money on him anymore. Okay, nobody was tuning in to watch this guy. Now, there was more people tuning in to watch him than me because I'm fucking a random ass guy off of the street. Like, it's so irrelevant. But compared to all these other people, no one gave a fuck about Jimmy Kimmel. They were taken off air because he's allowed to get fired from his job. Okay? And on top of that, he was spewing misinformation, which is legally not allowed for an organization that is that large. Okay? He said that Charlie Kirk's assassin was a right-wing guy, one of his supporters that was popping off shots in celebration when we already knew that was a lie. So, spare me your bullshit, AOC.
It is a disgusting attack on the American people.
It absolutely was a disgusting attack on the American people, and we're rectifying it now. Thank you for showing us who you really are.
And the very First Amendment rights that define us as a country.
To be clear, these people should not go to jail for the things that they say. But if their employer wants to fire them, that's on them. It's a private company. They can do what they want, right?
It is also the ABC...
Like, I can't go into work and start screaming and cursing at my boss. I can't go into work with a bad attitude and expect to keep my job or expect them to want to continue to work with me.
Corporation's responsibility to refuse to...
It's their responsibility to do whatever is absolutely best for their shareholders because they have a fiduciary responsibility for that, and they're not going to platform somebody that doesn't get views and doesn't make them money because that would go directly against to what they need to be doing legally.
Embolden and participate in this corruption and escalation of censorship.
Nobody is censoring Jimmy Kimmel. He was fired from his job. He can still speak his mind online, okay? He can start a stream, he can start a podcast, he can start a YouTube channel, he can go and get a job at another fucking company. It doesn't matter. Nobody is censoring him. He was just fired.
We continue to pray for Mr. Kirk's family and loved ones in the...
Bitch, you do not believe in God. Shut up.
...wake of this terrible act. I am thinking especially of his children and his wife whose grief cannot be measured.
And with that, I yield back. Bitch! So, hang on. Let me break this down for you guys. This is why they have been able to do this bullshit, okay? I don't know if you know what the Smith-Mund Act is, but in 2012, the Obama administration revitalized it, right? They call it the Modernization Act. Now what they did was they wrapped it into like the Defense Spending Act, like the Defense Funding Act. of 2013. But basically what the Smith-Munn Act was, it allowed for the U.S. government to create propaganda to be sent over to foreign countries and like overseas and stuff, but it did not allow the federal government to spread propaganda domestically because they didn't want the government to be propagandizing the citizens and do various shit, right? Well, the Smith-Munn Act 2012 made significant changes to the original act by allowing domestic dissemination of information and materials intended primarily for foreign audiences. It is important to note, though, here, right down here, prohibition of propaganda. The act maintains a prohibition on using funds to influence public opinion and propagandize within the United States. People on the Democratic Party are going to take that and say, see, it still prohibits propaganda. Well, no, that's not what it says. It says it prohibits using funds to influence public opinion, right? What kind of funds exactly? Well, that is a good question. See, because the Smith-Munn Act prohibits the use of funds for the Department of State or Broadcasting Board of Governors, which is like I think there's another name for it. I don't remember what it is exactly. To influence public opinion or propagandize in the United States. So basically, as long as they're not using funds that have been specifically disseminated by Congress to the Department of State or the Broadcasting Board of Governors or whatever the fuck it's called at this point. I think actually Trump probably got rid of whatever the fuck it was, like the National Media something or another. But anyway, yeah. So it's fine to do it. You just can't use these funds to do it. Okay? That is what they've been fucking doing. That is why people have been taking hundreds of millions of dollars from foreign governments that want the destruction of this country so that they can push shit that is in the best interest of other countries over this one. I don't think these people should be in Congress. I don't think these people should be allowed to even run for fucking office. And I do think that anybody that is in Congress that is fighting against the best interest of the United States specifically should go to jail because they took an oath to protect the Constitution. Okay? Truth, faith, and allegiance to the same. Okay? They had an oath of allegiance to the Constitution. If you are trying to break it down, you should be put in fucking jail. Fucking Democrats are politically... These guys are... They're bastards, man. Listen to this.
Providing misinformation. You shouldn't.
So this is a bunch of bullshit that the Democrats were saying, advocating for censorship of free speech whenever they were in power. And now that we are done listening to their lies, they're telling us that we're attacking free speech. Listen.
Be banned from one platform and not others if you are for providing misinformation out there.
There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
There are Americans who are engaged in this kind of propaganda, and whether they should be civilly or even in some cases criminally charged is something that would be a better deterrent.
If people go to only one source and the source they go to is sick and, has an agenda and they're putting out disinformation, our First Amendment stands as a major block. It's really hard to govern today.
This is a matter of corporate responsibility.
It's really hard to govern with that silly First Amendment in our way. I mean, how are we supposed to get anything done, says, what was that, John Kelly, I think?
Twitter should be held accountable and shut down that site. It is a matter of safety and corporate accountability.
These are the same people that were absolutely for Mark Zuckerberg banning anybody that the Biden administration told him to, which is a thing that he directly said. Like, Mark Zuckerberg, he went on Joe Rogan and he said, yeah, we just basically banned anybody that the Biden administration told us to, which means the Biden administration was calling private companies and saying, I don't like what this person's saying, you should ban them right now. I'm just saying, that's not what the Trump administration is doing. These companies are independently firing their own fucking people.
The First Amendment is not absolute. It does not protect any single thing anyone says. And there are limits, and that's important. And I
swear to God, if this guy says that you can't say fire in a crowded theater, first of all, you can. If there's a fire, you can say fire in a crowded fucking theater. Okay? You can't incite violence. That's what you can't do.
this committee has been trying to do for the last year and a half is to chill the federal government from monitoring what is going on social media.
When you look at what Tucker Carlson and some of these other folks on Fox do, it is very, very clearly incitement of violence. Very clearly incitement of violence.
No, it is absolutely not. It is saying words that hurt your feelings and you get violent over it because that's what your side does.
I believe that when it comes...
And to be clear, like fucking Maxine Waters was out there whenever, I don't remember if it was the campaign in 2016 or if it was like maybe the 2020 campaign, but she was out there and she literally said, you need to get out there and push back on them and let them know they are not welcome anywhere anymore, okay? She was advocating for people that are voting Democrat to go into the streets, to go into restaurants, and to cause a scene and force the Republican people in this country to not feel safe or peaceful. Like, this is fucking insane. Nobody on the Republican Party was saying that. Well, people that vote Republican were saying that, but none of the, like, actual senators, like these fucking people.
To broadcast television, like Fox News, these are subject to federal law, federal regulation.
They absolutely are, and that's why Jimmy Kimmel was fired. Fuck you.
In terms of what's allowed on air and what isn't.
And it's weird. It's almost like what the Republicans were saying was true, which is why it was allowed on air. And I'm fairly certain that this person is a Supreme Court justice. Like, this is Ketanji Brown Jackson, I think.
My biggest concern is that your view has the First Amendment hamstringing the government in significant ways.
Yeah, silly First Amendment, getting in our way and shit all the time. Oh my God. Oh, we're so tired of this bullshit, dude. Oh my God. It's not just me. Like, look, the world is fighting back, okay? They are fighting back on this bullshit, and we're all done with it. It's not just me. Here's England. Listen, people, England has fucking fallen, okay? This is, some stupid fucking account on X. Anyway, horrific sights as the streets of London are invaded by people waving far-right symbols, replacing the traditional Palestinian flags. Traditional Palestinian flags in England. Are you kidding me right now? Look, these are not far-right fucking things. Like, this is the Union Jack. This is the UK flag. This is St. George's Cross. This is the flag commonly, like, associated with England proper, right? Like, that specific country right here. I don't understand why the St. George's Cross or the Union Jack are fucking far-right things. Like, this doesn't make any sense. First of all, England is absolutely not far-right. But even if it was, why the fuck would the Palestinian flag be the traditional one? Like, these people are crazy, all right? And this, I believe that this was a protest that was put on in England in memorial of Charlie Kirk. Not that they were there specifically. Like I said, fucking England arrests people, like thousands of people every year, for shit that they said on social media that is deemed hate speech, which is insane, by the way. Like, they don't have free speech the way that we have free speech over here, okay? They can actually get arrested for that shit. And for whatever reason, walking around waving your country's flag is a fucking far-right symbol, and these people hate Western civilization, okay? Like, it's just crazy. But the fact that these people are out there, I think there was like 3 million. It was a lot. Like, there was a lot of people out there. They're fighting back against this. Time will tell whether or not it's going to win, okay? But, so, this is something that I saw on Ground News, which has been an absolute wonderful tool for me. It's behind a paywall, but it's so worth it, and it's not even that expensive. One Piece's Jolly Roger flag has become a symbol of Asian Gen Z's discontent. Now, if you're watching me as a fucking person behind a VTuber right now, you probably know about One Piece. But if you don't, this right here is the Jolly Roger, or the symbolic flag for the main character's pirate crew. Okay? And I think that we need to keep in mind that we are not fighting the world government, Okay, in One Piece, they're fighting the world government. That's not what we're fighting. Okay, we are fighting the celestial dragons. Okay, the Illuminati controlling the world behind the scenes. Okay, all the world is a stage, and it's all the celestial dragons. Oh, man, I love this. Stay strong, Nakama. Stay strong. All right. So, dude, yeah, Charlie was a hero. He was the best of us. He was way nicer than me. He was way more patient than me. He was way more willing to hear out somebody, even if their position is absolutely unacceptable. Like, you guys actually you literally killed the moderate. You killed the guy that wanted to have a peaceful conversation. This man is a hero to, I was going to say tens of millions, but I think at this point it's hundreds of millions of people all over the world. There were protests and memorials in like Korea and Japan and England and all over the world, dude. Like, they were mourning in Israel for this man. I think they named a square after him. I'm not really sure. I'm not like Jewish, and I don't keep as close of tabs on that as I maybe should, but still, he was loved, and he was he's the definition of an American patriot, and he is a person that we can all look up to. I really hope that this man is resting in peace, because the rest of us have a long fight ahead of us, and I feel my heart goes out to his wife and to his two beautiful children that he left behind. And I certainly hope that they can find some sort of peace in the fact that he is with his creator now. And I think that he would look down on us and he would be proud.
Only in America is it possible to say, you know what, I don't like the way the country is going, and to do something about it. Take that risk. Take that leap of faith. Stay involved. Trust God and act obediently. Romans 12:2 verse, that God will use all things for good for those who love him. It's bigger than you. I want you to remember that. It is bigger than you. It's bigger than me. You aren't here to make somebody else's life better, the pursuit of liberty and freedom. You know what gives me strength? The hundreds of thousands of you that say, Charlie, keep going.
1 Corinthians 5 and 15. So that's all pretty amazing evidence, not just intra-biblical evidence, but extra-biblical evidence that Jesus Christ was a real person. He lived a perfect life. He was crucified, died, and rose on the third day, and he is Lord and God of all.